This is Nightline, and I'm Sabrina Zainal. The headlines. Cabinet agrees on RCI into Tommy Thomas's controversial memoir. And Sabah Cabinet reshuffle. 3 assemblymen sworn in as new members of Sabah Cabinet. Good morning. We begin with this story. The Cabinet has agreed with the proposal to set up a Royal Commission of Inquiry, or RCI, to look into the claims made in former Attorney General Tan Sri Tommy Thomas's controversial memoir. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, in a statement said the setup of the RCI was in line with the Commissions of Inquiry Act, which is under the jurisdiction of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. She said the establishment of the RCI was decided after examining the recommendations proposed by the Special Task Force chaired by Datuk Sri Fong Ju Chung in the report presented at the Cabinet meeting on Wednesday. She added that the RCI is aimed at finding out the truth and submitting recommendations to the government to reform the country's legal institutions. Datuk Sri Azalina further said that the RCI was also not aimed at finding fault with any particular party. She also revealed that the detailed terms, membership and duration of the RCI will be proposed later by the government.
To assist the reforming government just elected on a
Proposals to develop and upgrade infrastructure and facilities for hawkers in Kuala Lumpur were among the issues discussed in Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's meeting with the Kuala Lumpur City Hall DBKL on Wednesday. The meeting was held with Kuala Lumpur Mayor Datuk Sri Mahadi Cik Ngah at the Finance Ministry in Putrajaya. In a Facebook posting on Wednesday, Datuk Sri Anwar said hawkers and petty traders are among the contributors to the national economy who need to be given attention so that they are not left behind. Also present at the meeting was DBKL Executive Director for Socio-Economic Development, Datuk Azmi Abdul Hamid. Previously, Datuk Sri Anwar said local authorities, especially those in urban areas, should provide adequate infrastructure and facilities for hawkers and petty traders. This is to enable them to conduct business in a more conducive environment. The Sabah Cabinet reshuffle was necessary to strengthen the current state administration. Chief Minister Datuk Sri Haji Noor stressed that he needed a strong team to form an inclusive administration.
Several changes were made to the Sabah Cabinet lineup that included 3 new members, namely 2 from Pakatan Harapan, PH, and 1 from Barisan Nasional, BN, taking their oath of office on Wednesday morning. The swearing-in ceremony was held before Sabah Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Tun Juhar Mahiruddin at Istana Sri Kinabalu. Among the new ministers is Sabah PH Chief and Api-Api Assemblyman Datuk Christina Liu, who was appointed as Tourism, Culture and Environment Minister, which she had previously held from 2018 to 2020. The 2 others are Luyang Assemblyman Fung Jinje, also from PH, who is now the Industrial Development Minister, and Sugut Assemblyman Datuk James Ratib of Barisan Nasional, BN, who holds the Community Development and People's Welfare Ministry portfolio. When announcing the reshuffle in a statement on Wednesday, Datuk Sri Haji G said the state government was determined to have leaders who shared the same commitment to ensure development efforts in the state run smoothly and without any disruption as expected by the people. Meanwhile, Sabah BN Chairman Datuk Sri Bung Mukhtar Radin was dropped from Datuk Sri Haji G's new cabinet. The Lamak Assemblyman was replaced by Tanjung Kramat Assemblyman Datuk Sri Shahilmi Yahya, who took over his portfolios as Deputy Chief Minister and Works Minister. Also dropped from the new lineup were Karambunai Assemblyman Datuk Yaakob Khan and Sukau Assemblyman Datuk Jafri Arifin. Meanwhile, the new formula of appointing PH Assemblymen to the Sabah Cabinet has been seen as capable of intensifying efforts to further develop the state.
Ini merupakan satu daripada formula kerajaan perpaduan kerana dengan rombakan kabinet yang baru saja diumumkan, ia telah memasukkan 3 muka baru daripada PH dan juga Barisan Nasional.
Now, with the pandemic becoming slower, and I believe we will pick up again for the Pelancongan Ministry, industry, and I hope that 2023 will be a good year for for the ministry.
Bengal kerajaan ini cuma tinggal lebih kurang 3 tahun, tak sampai 3 tahun. Artinya pelantikan ini saya kena use double time, double effort.
Saya akan fokuskan untuk pembangunan kepada negeri Sabah, khususnya di kawasan-kawasan yang masih mempunyai kadar kemiskinan tegar di Sabah ini.
Now, the Deputy Chief Minister, Datuk Sri Jeffrey Kitingan, said the Prime Minister is aware of the new Sabah cabinet lineup and is happy with the matter. He said Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim had called Datuk Sri Haji G on Tuesday night to convey this to the Chief Minister.
Yes, it's more complete. Yeah, there's a woman and there's Pakatan, so very good. Yes. He already called us. CM last night.
The Parti Solidarity Tanah Airku, or STAR, president, who is also deputy chairman of Gabungan Rakyat Sabah, GRS, told this to the media outside of Istana Sri Kinabalu. Responding to questions whether the sworn-in ministers were based on Datuk Sri Anwar's advice, he said the new cabinet was the state's decision. Datuk Sri Bung Mokhtar, who is also Sabah AMNO chief, claimed that the 2 assemblymen from the party who were appointed to the state cabinet on Wednesday do not represent Sabah AMNO. He said Sabah AMNO will not recognize the appointment of Datuk Shahilmi and Datuk James, and both lawmakers were also seen to have turned their backs on the party by accepting their appointment. In a statement on Wednesday, he added that Sabah AMNO will bring the matter to the attention of the party's disciplinary board. He also said they will discuss the issue with UMNO President Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi on further action to be taken. The 4-day 2022 UMNO General Assembly, which kicked off on Wednesday, will focus on the party's way forward following their crushing defeat in the 15th general election GE15. UMNO Secretary General Datuk Sri Ahmad Maslan said the party was also set to look into the extraordinary circumstances it faced during the nationwide polls held on November 19th last year.
Datuk Sri Ahmad Maslan said among the matters that will be discussed is why the party was not able to repeat its past success despite winning in 7 by-elections and 2 state elections before that.
Jadi tentu ada sebab-sebab luar biasa yang berlaku sehingga menyebabkan kami tewas. Hanya 30 kerusi yang ada, 26 campur 4 komponen. Jadi saya ingin mendengar apa pandangan-pandangan. Tentunya kita juga ingin mendengar daripada ulasan-ulasan kenapa wujud keluarbiasaan itu. Apakah sebab-sebab punca-puncanya yang kita boleh perbaiki untuk masa depan.
Datuk Sri Ahmad Maslan, who is also Pontian Member of Parliament, said the nearly 3,000 delegates who would be convening in the World Trade Center this week would also touch on how the party could strategize to face the next 6 state elections. He was speaking at a press conference after launching the media center at the World Trade Center Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday. Meanwhile, in a special closed-door session, UMNO President Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said that the party's new direction moving forward will be explained this Friday. He also hinted that UMNO may cooperate with Pakatan Harapan in the 6 upcoming state elections, but will continue to use the Barisan Nasional logo. Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid also emphasized the importance of UMNO members and leadership in maintaining unity and solidarity to ensure that the party is fully prepared to face the state elections. He also touched on the importance of the cooperation between BN and PH, which he said will benefit the country as a whole, besides giving his assurance that the party will undergo a thorough cleansing in order to eliminate those deemed irresponsible.
Itu the key position, key points lah. Iaitu jangan ada pengkhianatan dalam perjuangan Parti UMNO. Semua delegate dengar tadi itu dah terima secara bulat sebuah suara kerajaan perpaduan ni.
Kerajaan perpaduan ini boleh memberikan tawaran nilai baru kerajaan dan politik kepada rakyat Malaysia. Jadi kesimpulannya, dengan kekuatan setiap individu parti dalam kerajaan perpaduan ini akan memberikan tawaran yang terbaik yang boleh mengalahkan tawaran yang dibuat oleh parti lawan.
Parti mesti bergerak
seiringan di semua peringkat. Tidak boleh lagi ada kumpulan-kumpulan sebagai contoh dahulu ada kluster Putrajaya, ada kluster PWTC, dan alhamdulillah kepimpinan parti yang diterajui oleh Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zaid Hamidi juga berada dalam kerajaan perpaduan yang hari ini telah membuktikan melalui kebijaksanaan beliau
sentiasa membuat perubahanlah di kawasan, dan untuk kita punya strategi kita, tumpuan kita adalah pada pilihan raya negeri yang akan datang, di mana 3 negeri iaitu di Kelantan, Pulau Pinang dan juga Selangor.
In other news, the National Crime Index recorded a 4.1% drop in 2022, with 50,819 cases reported as compared to 52,974 cases in 2021. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Akril Sani Abdullah Sani said the achievement was the result of the performance of the Royal Malaysia Police, PDRM officers and personnel who kept the national security situation at a good and controlled level.
The IGP also said the number of suspects detained for various drug offences increased from 129,654 in 2021 to 163,740 last year. He added police also detained 1,261 individuals under the Dangerous Drugs Act last year, compared to 1,186 arrests in 2021, adding that this showed the police commitment to fighting the drug menace. Tan Sri Akril Sani also revealed that a total of 2,866 cases relating to smuggling, migrants and national treasures were recorded last year, resulting in 5,945 arrests and seizures amounting to 495.6 million ringgit. The country's top cop also reminded the men and women in the police force of the 3 main focuses, namely strengthening integrity, improving service delivery, and carrying out government policies for the benefit of the people.
Tabung Haji, TH, has been named the recipient of the Saudi Arabian LabItem Award for the Best Awareness Program in the Islamic world at the ongoing Hajj and Umrah Services Conference and Exhibition 2023 in Jeddah. Saudi Arabia's Minister of Hajj and Umrah, Dr. Taufik Fauzan Al-Rabia, presented the award to the minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dr. Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, at the 4-day conference, which began on January 9th. Now, in a statement issued by TH on Wednesday, Dr. Muhammad Naim described the award as meaningful, especially in lieu of TH's 60th anniversary this year. He said the award is also another recognition for Malaysia for having established a unique institution which turned out to be an exemplary model to other Islamic countries. Dr. Muhammad Naim said Malaysia is now internationally recognized for its efforts to provide the Malaysian pilgrims with guidelines to perform Hajj, as well as awareness program in the aspects of self-care, courteousness, personal hygiene, and public cleanliness. News veteran Dato' Ahmad Zaini Kamaruzaman has been appointed New Straits Times Press Malaysia Berhad NSTP Group Managing Editor. In an announcement, Media Prima Berhad said the appointment of the 59-year-old takes effect on Wednesday, in addition to his role as the group editor of Berita Harian. Dato' Ahmad Zaini began his career as a journalist with Bernama in 1984 and joined Berita Harian 7 years later. Media Prima Group Managing Director Rafiq Razali said the group was pleased to welcome Dato' Ahmad Zaini as NSTP Group Managing Editor. He believed that a respected and highly experienced journalist like Dato' Ahmad Zaini will continue to provide strong leadership to the editorial teams of Berita Harian, Harian Metro and the New Straits Times. China suspends free transit policy with South Korea and Japan. News from the foreign front when we return. China on Wednesday said it would scrap visa-free transit for South Korean and Japanese citizens, stepping up a diplomatic tit-for-tat after both countries placed travel curbs on visitors from China. Now, China's National Immigration Administration said the issuance of visas, as well as the 72 and 144-hour visa-free transit policy for South Korean and Japanese citizens, were suspended with immediate effect. Beijing has stepped up retaliation in response to the recent discriminatory entry restrictions imposed by a few countries on Chinese citizens. South Korea and Japan have in recent weeks imposed fresh travel requirements on all visitors from China as the world's most populous country battles a surge in COVID cases. Tokyo on Wednesday had protested China's decision to scrap short-term visas for its citizens, demanding that Beijing reverse the decision. Brazil's judicial authorities have ordered the arrest of top public officials after supporters of right-wing former President Jair Bolsonaro led a rampage through government buildings on Sunday. One of them is capital's public security chief, Anderson Torres, who used to be Bolsonaro's justice minister. Judge Alexandre Moraes of the Supreme Court said Torres' failure to act as thousands of Bolsonaro supporters overran Congress, the presidential palace, and the Supreme Court is potentially criminal. Torres, who was removed from office on Sunday, was not in the city when the riots occurred, saying he would return to Brazil and turn himself in to justice. An arrest warrant was also issued for the head of Brasilia's military police, Fabio Augusto, who was responsible for protecting the key Brasilia government buildings. Now, over in France, 6 people were wounded by a man wielding a knife at the busy Gare du Nord station in Paris before being shot by police. According to officials, several passengers and a border police officer were among the wounded. The officer was stabbed in the back by the assailant, but was saved by a bulletproof vest. Meanwhile, the attacker sustained a life-threatening chest injury as police opened fire several rounds before arresting him. Authorities said the attacker's motive was not immediately clear as police investigation is underway. A major cyclone is set to hit the U.S. state of California with up to 18 centimeters of rain on Wednesday after tens of thousands of people were placed under evacuation orders due to a barrage of storms that killed at least 17 people. According to the National Weather Service, an enormous cyclone rotating well off the west coast will bring the next round of heavy precipitation and gusty winds, and this time targeting Northern California. California Governor Gavin Newsom said at least 34,000 people had been told to flee the storms, with more danger expected. The high winds also wreaked havoc on the power grid, knocking out electricity to 66,000 homes and businesses on Wednesday. men's singles shuttler Li Zijie suffered the embarrassment of a first-round exit on home ground when he was sent packing by a rising Japanese star Kodai Naraoka in the Malaysia Open at the Axiata Arena on Wednesday.
Although world number 2 Zijie started well with a 21-13 win in the first game, the 7th-ranked Japanese gallantly fought back to take the second game 21-17. The closely fought third game saw the 21-year-old Japanese ace emerge victorious 21-19 after a 72-minute battle. Naraoka will now face another Malaysian, Zae-yong, in the last 16 on Thursday. Zae-yong advanced to the second round after beating Nat Nguyen of Ireland 21-4, 21-10. In the women's singles, Go Jin-wei checked into the second round after beating Yvonne Lee of Germany 21-11, 21-18. She plays An Se-young of South Korea next. National top men's doubles pair Aaron Chia So Woo Yik started on the right foot in the opening round of the Malaysia Open on Wednesday after defeating Taiwan's Lee Jae-hui Yang Po Swan 16-21, 21-15, 21-16. The match proved to be challenging for the world champions as it took them 56 minutes to down their world number 38 opponents in their second meeting. The fourth seeds are set to face China's Liu Yuchen, Wu Xuanyi in the second round, whom they lost to in their past two meetings. Meanwhile, it was the end of an era for one of Malaysia's most popular shuttlers as Goh Liu Ying played her final competitive game together with longtime partner Chan Peng Soon on Wednesday. It wasn't the desired result Goh hoped for after the mixed doubles pair lost 21-18, 15-21, 7-21 to Indonesia's Rehan Naufal Lisa Ayu. Since 2008, the duo bagged a total of 12 titles, including the 2010 Asian Championships, and were ranked a career-high number 3 in 2013. In other matches, third seed Loh Kian Yu of Singapore cruised to the round of 16 after a hard-fought victory over China's Li Shifeng. The former world champion took 52 minutes to beat his world number 20 opponent in straight games, 21-19, 23-21, to set up a last 16 clash with another Chinese shuttler, world number 12, Zhao Junpeng. Unseeded Chico Ara Dwi Wardoyo also moved to the last 16 after winning Denmark veteran Hans Christian Solberg Vittinghus in 3 games, 21-11, 16-21, 25-23, after an hour and 5 minutes battle on the court. The Indonesian player will face Pranoy HS of India in the next round. Former world and Olympic champion Carolina Marin opened her new season with a good start after the Spaniard advanced to the second round by knocking out number 6 seed Pusarlavi Sindhu of India. Former world number 1 spent 59 minutes to stop the Indian star in 3 games, 21-12, 10-21, 21-15. Marin will face Pornpawi Chochuwong of Thailand in round of 16 clash.
Duo on 6-day remand to assist in false claims probe. This and more after this short break. chief operating officer, COO, and a construction company consultant who is a British citizen have been remanded for 6 days to assist an investigation involving false claims. This is in relation to a 41-story building project worth 389 million ringgit in Kuala Lumpur.
Both individuals are believed to have conspired to help the construction company submit a number of false claims to an investment company. The remand orders on the two men were issued by Magistrate Irza Zulaika Rohanuddin after allowing the remand applications made by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, at the Putrajaya Magistrates Court. The two individuals were detained at the MACC headquarters at about 3 p.m. on Tuesday when they arrived to give their statements. MACC Senior Director of Investigation, Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hashim, confirmed the arrests and said the case is being investigated under Section 18 of the MACC Act. Also in the same magistrate's court, 4 men were remanded for 6 days beginning Wednesday to facilitate MACC's probe into an alleged corruption case involving a special government program worth 114 million ringgit. According to sources, the suspects, aged between 38 and 65, were arrested at the agency's headquarters in Putrajaya on Tuesday after having their statements recorded. The suspects are a company's managing director and general manager, while another 2 are directors of another company. The 65-year-old managing director is said to have acted as a middleman by soliciting and accepting bribes from 2 company directors, aided by the general manager. It was also alleged that the bribe for helping the company obtain the projects under the special government program amounted to around 3 to 5% of the total value of the projects, which involved road construction and upgrading projects. MACC Special Operations Division Senior Director Tan Kang Sai confirmed the arrests, adding that the case was being investigated under the MACC Act for soliciting and accepting bribes.
As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look at giant balloons with unusual shapes at a balloon festival held at a sports arena in Colombia's southern city of Envigado. With that, I'm Sabrina Zainal. Thank you for watching and stay safe and have a great week ahead.